Line spline rendering rollout. Let's go up and put a line spline in. We're going to go up to the Create tab in the command panel. Then we're going to go to Shapes button. We're going to choose the drop down of Splines. We're going to start with a line. I'm just going to pick a corner line here. Now, over here and I'm going to right click and end the command. Over here in my rendering rollout, you can see that I have enable in renderer. When I check that on, that means that this line would be rendered now. So it's not visible. By default, it's not visible in the rendering. So we have to turn it on if we want to see this line rendered. So I could take that off. I could also enable it in the viewport. Notice when I enabled it in the viewport here, it showed up as really a 3D mesh. And now that 3D mesh, I have the availability to set what that is. And down here, I can say, really, if you look close, it looks roundish. That's because it's radial. It's got a 1-inch thickness. It's got 12 different sides and a 0 angle. I could make it rectangular. So you can kind of see here, it's a rectangular shape now. And I got the actual size of how big that is. So when this thing is in the viewport, I can actually see it as these radial or rectangular shapes. And otherwise, I could turn those off. And when it's turned off, it's not a 3D mesh. It's just a line work. It's just a spline. So when I enable it in the viewport, then I can auto smooth it. And this smooths the angle between the line segments and the threshold spinner down here. And this is in degrees here. And so essentially this controls, so we can draw lines and just have them spline lines, or like such, or we can have them rendered at the time of rendering, or we can have them enabled in the viewport and we can have those be seen as radial or as rectangular 3D meshes while they're in the viewport. And so these are our line splines. Again, we created them here in Create, under Shapes, under Splines, under Line.